Hello, Virgo. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with a bonus reading for your finances from now until the end of 2020. And I'm starting with this beautiful rhodochrosite. And what I really like about this, it reminds me of the properties of rose quartz, but it has a more pulsating beat to it. If you take a look, this is an egg-shaped, but there are parts that are practically transparent. It's a lovely stone. It's really, really lovely. And I'm going to start by pulling three Intuiti, here it is, Intuiti cards. The Intuiti deck is a tarot deck that was fashioned by a group of researchers, Italian researchers in a university in Milan. And their idea was to study all of the traditions around the world and pick and choose and finally create a version that was out of in some way, the tarot typical tradition, but that could give you much more breadth of interpretation. And it's interesting. I'm only using the major arcana here, and I'm going to pull three cards for you. I'll show you those. Okay. Move these and let's get started. First, I'll show you and then we'll talk about that in relation to your finances. This is the card that is called tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means down to the ground. Everything's burned to the ground. Okay, then we have this 9 major arcana, which is called sacred fire. And then the last card pulled is the 17th, which is called in this deck brightening drop. So let's start to interpret these in relation to your finances. And so we've got this tabula rasa. So tabula rasa typically is the complete collapse of any certainty that you may have. It's a sort of suppression of any type of assurance that you have. Tabula rasa, like I said, means making a clear sweep of our past and present and leaving sort of an empty, wide expanse to create something new. When this happens, when too many energies accumulate, we feel the need to regenerate them with an expulsion, throwing them out. We're in the front of an annihilation of the ego, okay? There's a really putting a silencer on the ego that happens at the moment of, I could say, even orgasm. When we have an orgasm, at that turning point, we need to change our life. It's at that moment where you completely feel cleansed, at that moment when we become aware of hidden truths, and it's not possible to go back anymore. And this is a period for you, Virgo, that you learn so much about your finances and where you need to move. It's not by chance that I was moved to create these finances readings, because it's a particular moment in our lives this month of August and up until the end of 2020. The entire year was, as we all know, has changed everything that we believed in, everything that we usually do. Now, it's not possible to go back anymore, as I said. Here, the crisis concentrates on all of its many different colors. The break, the separation, liberation, the leap, destruction. It causes a painful, and I won't hide that from you, Virgo, painful and radical transformation. The only thing that can change a deep-rooted situation, it has to be radical. It has to be radical. And this calls for destruction. It causes pain, like I said. Together with it comes a mad joy of an overflowing movement, the imposing dread of thunder, this fear of thunder, and the excitement of new opportunities. That always reminds us that what is still a dead element or a dead energy stirs something that is about to become alive. Now, this, in terms of your finances, talks volumes. It really buries any decision-making processes that you have had in the past. I'll go back to that. Now, this is the sacred fire. The sacred fire, how can I put it in an analogy? Socrates, the philosopher, believed that in each and every one of us, there was a spirit able to help us in difficult situations, and that the origin of wisdom had to necessarily be found inside each and every individual, not outside themselves, as many other philosophers of his time thought. This is the way of what we consider to be a master. A master refuses to be guided by others and faces his own solitude and silence. And believe me, I'm very experienced in this, facing your own solitude and silence. It is a painful but necessary process because it allows you to discover that every answer is already in the heart. And this heart talk, this heart communication is needed. Where a light has always been shining, Virgo, always been shining. You need silence to feel it and darkness to see it. So we have these two cards that tell you we have to take a dip. We have to dip our feet into that dark place, the shadow place, the abyss for a minute, because we have to come then and rejuvenate our ideas, our notions. Here we've got the brightening drop. Now this is very interesting that it came up in this sequence, because the brightening drop is hope, literally. It's beauty and nakedness. It's like a star. It sort of shines in the sky. It protects us. It guides us from afar. Even if it is dark, even if there's dark all around, Virgo, we have guidance. We stop being afraid because the sparkle is comforting. We don't feel alone anymore. This pertains to you, whether you have tons of money in the bank, whether you are on your last dollar, or whether you are waiting for finances to be propped up because payments haven't been coming in. It's your attitude that is required to make a transformation for your very life to be able to survive. It's sort of, how can I put it? We don't feel alone anymore, and it seems as if there's a thread tied to the universe. We're starting to feel one with everyone else. We're all in the same boat. And it reminds us of the concept of a kindred spirit, of a sort of perfect encounter, of the ethereal situation. It's a spirit-like notion of lightness. Now that's the key word, lightness. It reminds us of the existence of an ideal place that we can get a glimpse of being freeing ourselves of our masks, of our prejudices, of our any kind of social imposition and schemes that we have. And we remain sort of free in front of ourselves. We disarm ourselves in front of ourselves. It's like Venus, naked Venus, that wipes out all lies. This is the real and authentic inner beauty. Without clothes, nakedness, without any schema, without any guideline already in place or old. We can finally understand what is our place in the world. Financially speaking, if you are, I'll give you an example, if you are on, for example, a financial consultant, all right, it changes the notion of you making money, a commission, any kind of strategy to make money off of, and rather having a more direct notion and objective of helping your clients do what they themselves can and not put them in jeopardy. This is just one example. Now I have the Universal Tarot that I'm going to be using around this deck. There you go. There you go. Okay. And I'll be showing you those. All right, so we've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Page of Cups. We have the High Priestess. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups. And we have the Justice card. All right, this karmic justice. Now, what's interesting for me to see is the mirroring effect of these cards, because we have the Hanged Man that is mirroring this Eight of Cups, inviting you to turn it around, turn your ideas completely around and abandon your old ways, abandon the way you used to operate and the way you used to, more than anything else, think. And here we have this Page of Cups mirroring this Four of Cups. The Page of Cups is an open card. The Page of Cups is a card that gives us breath, gives us air from the outside, and the Four of Cups is a closure. And it's as if one is telling you what to do and one is telling you what to do about. It's about the accumulation of wealth. No, it's a matter of opening your horizons, taking a breath that's far, far more in depth. Then we've got these two that are right next to each other. Well, they are in a way consequential, but the mirroring effect is made with the karmic justice. Now, there are two major arcanas. There are two major players. I have in the 6 card spread, Virgo, I've got 3 major arcana, half of them. And what this tells you, this the moon, this is reflecting the moon, this high priestess, she hides things from us. She hides karmic results. She hides karmic development of your past actions, and how you can turn your life around, Virgo, by the very fact of opening, expanding your way of using your finances. It's a sort of a generosity of spirit that is being required toward you, from you. And karmic, you receive karmic rewards for your generosity. This is what it is shouting at you, receiving karmic rewards for your generosity. Now, what I like is this consequential nature, this queen, the moon hiding queen card, and this Eight of Cups, which tells you, okay, you don't see it, but there is a burning need for you to leave behind, because you don't see, Virgo, what the actions, the reactions that are, and the consequences that are occurring in relation to your decision-making process. You're not seeing that. And the hint is here, this Four of Cups, this closing in your finances. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful is this Page of Cups, the Page of Cups, in relation to the karmic rewards, because you are given and you take back. You give and you receive. It's as if the karmic rewards come as you expand. There is the notion here, the reading here is asking you, Virgo, expand your possibilities, because it's in that expansion that you receive. I do hope, this is really interesting for me, Virgo, I hope this was of help to you to understand what your financial movements will be like and the decisions that you need to make from now until the end of the year. Write us something about how this resonates and what your financial situation is like, and how you can interpret this reading and incorporate it in your way of acting in relation to money matters. Also, I want to remind you, if you're free, on Sunday the 16th, I'll be having a live Q&A session. Come in with your questions. I'll answer them live for you. as many as I can. You know, usually there is a threshold where my brain starts to fry. But and then on the 22nd, as I've already mentioned in my past readings, I'll be channeling Sushant Singh Rajput, the young, very young Indian actor and dancer who passed away very recently. And initially it was decided it was a suicide, but especially now, these days in mid-August, the press has brought to light so many different things, and there are many investigations underway. So if you're free, come and join me. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo friends, until we read together again. Bye-bye.